Alright guys, welcome back. Scamps Recipes, where we show you how to do phenomenal recipes right from your kitchen with our sweets. Things like toffee bits, things like toffee sauce, things like Scamps Pops. Now last time when we did these recipes, you'd never heard of Scamps Pops, and that's totally fine. But I'm sure you've heard of kettle corn. What this is very similar, except we're doing Scamps Toffee with it. So obviously it's about 10 times better. But the first thing we're going to start with today is not Scamps Pops. It's in fact a classic fall recipe. The weather is turning, the season is changing. Apples. We love apples, guys. So today we're going to do apple pie cookies. I'm going to walk you through step by step, and afterwards, as always, I'm going to post the recipe online so that you can find it, you can make it at home, then you can look back at this video and you can follow us through the whole journey. Okay, let's begin. Get this thing out of the way. So, obviously, to do apple pie cookies, the first thing you need is apples. So what we have here are Honey Crisp apples. Now, if you guys are saying, hey Kara, why aren't you doing the measurements? The reason is because I'm going to post all that online. I don't want to bore you right now with half a cup of this, 3/4 teaspoon that, whatever. Let's just get right into it. So, take your apples, you're going to dump them right in a big bowl. Simple. You need lemon juice, of course. Got our lemon juice measured out. And guys, what I always recommend to do is measure out everything you need beforehand. Now, I like to get an assistant to help me with that. You might want to do that too. Maybe a guy hanging around the house who has nothing better to do than measure stuff out. Maybe your boyfriend, maybe your husband, maybe your son, maybe your daughter. Just get somebody to come and help you with the measurements, because it makes it a whole lot easier to get these sweet treats out when you have a little helper in the kitchen. Now we have our salt, okay? We're going to have a little bit of kosher salt here. Again, measurements are on the website, www.scampstoffee.com/recipes. Next, we're going to have our whole egg. Got one egg in here, yolk, all of the whole thing. Dump it right in there. The next thing we have is our brown sugar. Now, I like to use light brown sugar. Here at Scamps Toffee, we love our brown sugar, as you guys know. You might want to use dark, that's totally fine. Like you guys always know watching these recipes, we're super fluid with your preferences. So if you want to use light, if you want to use dark, that's your choice. Put the brown sugar right in there. Baking soda, obviously. Throw the baking soda in there. That's going to help the cookies to rise. We've already created our pie dough, and so that recipe is going to be online for you as well. But I don't want you to sit here and have to watch me make pie dough. It's like watching paint dry, as you know. So log on, get that recipe. It'll be waiting for you. This is heavy cream, okay? Throw that right in there. Next thing we have is cinnamon. Now, I like to use nutmeg also, but for this purpose, we're just using cinnamon again. You can use cloves, you can use nutmeg, you can use cinnamon, you can use whatever you want. The seasonings really are your choice. So now that we have all that, I like to just stack our bowls really quickly here. I don't know how you guys are in the kitchen, but that is my style, clean as we go. You're going to take a wooden measuring spoon. Why that matters is because if you use metal, oftentimes the taste, that metallic taste, can get into your baking. It might be an old wives' tale, but I've been following it since I heard it, and it's worked ever since. All right, as you guys can tell, Honey Crisp apples. Like I said, you can use whatever type of apples you'd like. I would personally recommend against like a Fuji apple. It's a bit too sweet. It's a bit too cloyingly sweet. So what you're going to want to do is get an apple that's nice and tart. Honey Crisp, green apple, something like that. Because when you bake this, you're obviously going to be using sugar. Sugar is sweet. Toffee sauce is sweet. We're adding that here in a moment. And you do not want to overwhelm your guests with the sweetness of that, of the dessert. All right, guys, mix it for about, let's say 60 seconds. What you want, if you guys can see here, is you want to coat all of the apples in this awesome, awesome juice. That's what you want. You want to make sure that every inch of chopped apple is covered, so that when you put it into the fillings, that it is perfectly flavorful from top to bottom. Okay, now that we have that mix, this is the most important part. Scamps toffee sauce. Now, I'm going to use this in two different ways. I'm going to pour 2 tablespoons of it into the mix itself to add that nice, rich toffee flavor that you guys all love. Also, what I'm going to do is after the cookies bake, I'm going to take warm Scamps toffee, I'm going to drizzle it over the top of each cookie. What could be bad about that? So with the Scamps toffee sauce, you're gonna wanna warm it, and you're gonna wanna just put 2 tablespoons right in there, okay? Mix it right in. Now, Scamps toffee sauce, as you guys have watched these recipes, you know that it can be used for many purposes. We've used it in ham, we've used it in sweet potatoes, we have used it in martinis. But when it comes to baking, that's really where this stuff shines. Because where you see sugar, you can oftentimes replace that sugar with toffee sauce for a little extra flavor. It gives a little extra kick to your baking. So once you get that in there, again, don't use the whole jar. I know it's tempting. And try not to eat the rest of it while the cookies are baking. What you want to do is save a little bit to pour over the cookies right before you serve them. Okay, now I want to put this off to the side, guys. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back, and then we're going to plate these, all right? Stay tuned. Now, these are going to be more like apple pie cookie hand pies. I know it's a mouthful. Stick with me, though. What we've done here, if you weren't with us in the previous portion of this show, is we've taken Honeycrisp apples, we've mixed them with cinnamon, toffee sauce, brown sugar. We've placed them on top of these little pie dough rounds. Like I said, all of the ingredients and step-by-step recipes are on scampstoffee.com/recipes. We'll shoot you a live link. Now, what I've done here, just to not bore you, is I've taken the time to put these rounds right here. Basically, if you don't have a cookie cutter, take a wine glass. Okay, that's what I use. Take a wine glass, put it right on top of your cookie dough, roll it out, paper thin, put the apple right on top of that round wine print, okay? Super easy. Now, what I am going to show you is I took the other half of these rounds. You guys can see they're super, super thin. You're going to place it right on top of each hand pie, okay? Do not press them down too hard. Lay them gently on top of the apples. What we want here is a nice, rustic fall. You know, we're not going for perfection, folks. We're going for something that's fun, approachable, and authentic, just like Scamps Toffee, okay? Fun, approachable, and authentic. Press it on top of there, but do not like pinch the edges like you would with a pie. These are cookies, okay? Now, again, if you want to do that, totally fine, but what we're doing here is this. So, put them right on top of there. We're going to garnish. Garnishing is up to you. I'm going to just use a touch of nutmeg on each one of these cookies since we did cinnamon in the inside. I think that's a nice spice combination. But you can do whatever floats your boat. And then after they bake, drizzle of toffee sauce. All right, we got our oven set to 375 degrees. We're going to cook these babies for 25 minutes, all right? I'm going to pop them in the oven. We'll be right back to show you the final product. See you in a few. All right, guys, hello and welcome back. The last stage of our apple pie cookie episode. I'm going to pop these things out of the oven and you can see how they look, and I'll show you how to plate them. All right, so here we are, guys. I know that you can't see these up close, but they are complete gorgeousness. What we have here is this flaky crust. Inside you have this apple filling. It's delicious, it's fabulous, it's ready to be plated. Now, you might call me crazy, but I'm just going to pop these right on the plate. They're not that hot, just because the pie filling tends to, you know, it's not going to, I just have tough fingers, I guess. Okay, pop these guys on a plate just like that. I will use a cover for this, though. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take our toffee sauce, and we're going to drizzle it right over the top of these guys. Now, I'm not going to drizzle in now, because I'm actually serving these later for a dinner party, and I want to wait until the guests arrive to do that. But what you're going to do is you're going to warm Scamps toffee sauce for 30 seconds, and then you are going to pour it delicately. Don't allow that toffee sauce to pool, I would recommend, because the cookies could get a little bit soggy. Just give it a nice delicate drizzle right over the top. And there you have it, guys. Apple pie cookies with Scamps toffee sauce, ready for any dinner party. Sweetly. See you next time.